we've got Jeff Vaughn, KFI on the side.
Good morning, Chris. There's always an adventure out here. That's for sure. Yeah, it's funny. I was listening earlier doing that story about the jumper, and it turned out to be a dog.
It did turn out to be a dog.
That's really pretty funny.
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah, it is really funny. But good deal. All right, good morning to you. If you're looking at the new home here, this is unfortunately yourself about but really no big deal. And if you're choosing the South 405, boy, oh boy, now's the time to do it. Now, appropriately, there's some slow moving construction equipment. They're going uphill just a minute ago in the white line, but it's just like that when you go over. Up and over the hill and towards the lake, things are good. South 101, we've seen that to the 4 level. We're looking at something around the North 101 at Mission. I don't see anything down there at all. There's a little shoulder activity, but won't slow you down too much. The 101 coming up from East LA, Interchange is looking good. Chris, this is something I would have warned you about if you were driving into the studio right now. There was a problem. I heard Nick talking about it. West 210 Grand, that's all clear. Pretty good drive in the Pasadena. Don't go away into the next business. Superwoman, superwire.com, Jeff Vaughn, KFI in the sky.
If you want out of your house, moving, downsizing, you have financial issues, maybe you inherited, so you list it with a broker, and that means hours of cleaning and painting and repairing and paying big fees. So let me
Boss around town.
Fair price without any of that. The buyer never walks through your house, there's never appraisal, no commission, and you can get paid in cash within 10 days or less if you need it. That's directbuyers.com. That's the company that Janet and Matt, brother and sister, own, and I love the way they do things. They'll never lowball you. They're the honest folks. And let me tell you, a lot of trucks in this industry, and that's not what they are. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer and even offer a $15,000 cash advance before closing. Go to directbuyers.com. That's directbuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL. 844-242-SELL. Directbuyers.com.
If you're tired of big cable bills, you can get Newsmax TV for free. Millions are watching Newsmax. Available now on major cable systems or for free on smart TVs like Samsung, LG, and Vizio. Find it streaming on Roku, Humo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, TiVo, Apple TV, and more. 7 million Americans have downloaded the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. It's just seconds. Then watch us anytime, anywhere. Ford calls Newsmax a news powerhouse. Find out why. Start watching today.
Southern California weather from KFI. Sunny later this morning and partly cloudy. Highs to be in the low to mid-50s. Slight chance of rain after midnight with lows in the 30s and 40s. Then we've got rain tomorrow afternoon with highs in the 50s. Rain through Thursday night. Mostly cloudy Friday with a slight chance of rain then. Sunny on New Year's Day with highs in the mid-60s to around, highs in the mid-50s to around 60. I wanted to say highs in the mid-60s to around 70. Just didn't work out. We wanted you to say that. I know. I really want to feel it. Right now in Anaheim, it's 46. Fullerton, same thing. It's 37 in West Hills, 43 in Burbank. We lead local live from KFI's 24-hour newsroom. I'm Chris Little. This is in your wake-up call. Handle on the news with Wayne is now.
Handle on the news.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. This is the Bill Handel Show. Bill's off this week. Good morning to Chris Little, filling in for Jennifer Jones-Lee. Wonderful to see you for 2 days in a row.
Hey, thanks. I'm going to be here for the rest of the week.
Very good. Anything you wish to say?
Yes, it's nice to see you. You are an excellent person. I love your beard. I can barely see you because the lights are so dark. No, it's fun to be here. And I will say, I have to say to Jennifer, hats off, because this is a beast, this shift. Coming in here and doing the, now trending, not now trending, wake-up call and
staying up late.
And the now trending.
And the now
That's
trending.
another thing that the person in your chair right now has to do.
Yes, we're doing a thing called Now Trending, which is 3 stories we put on the FM. And we do those every few hours, update them during breaking news. Jennifer's great with it. She really makes it look easy. And once I'm done with it's not about me, but once I'm done with it, you get to, it's like you run a marathon and then everything else is easy.
Yeah. I'm not saying that people don't understand how hard it is to work this shit. But it is very hard. There's just a lot of moving parts. Why don't we, we also we shouldn't be bitching and moaning. No, I'm not bitching and moaning. I'm just sort of saying I have respect for Jennifer and for you and for everybody that comes in and does this. You know, everybody's driving down the freeway listening to this. This is, I would rather be out in the car listening to this going on than being here talking to you. Well, fate has dealt you.
Yeah.
The real hand then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I really do. I'm not complaining. I don't know how I got that. Oh, that's right. You asked me if I had something to say.
I'm providing an open forum.
Yes, no. Because whenever somebody says you have something to say, I remember my mom saying, do you have something you want to tell me? And I was always that's where it goes with me every time. I can't get rid of it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. That parental thing runs deep and never leaves you.
Do you have something to say?
You could be 70 years old. And your parents long gone, and somebody will say something that triggers something from your childhood. And stuff. That's like, yes, Mom, I love your earrings. That's not what I meant, son. Exactly. Oh my God. Something that happened to me. I don't know if I should tell it on the air or not.
Good.
Okay. Well, look, when I was a teenager, I had some pornography. And this was when pornography was largely, in fact, almost entirely in the form of printed material.
Oh, yeah.
Which I had obtained and kept in a footlocker in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I come home one day, because here's the deal. My mom really was a snoop. She was just a snoop. She snooped all the time. I came home and she had found it. And she confronted me, and then this is what she said. I'll never forget this. This is how it was left. Well, if that's what you want to spend your money on.
Sorry, fine.
Wow. Well, that term has meaning to you that not everybody has. Yeah. So when Wayne says to you, well, if that's what you want to spend your money on, that is him giving you a hard time.
Good morning, Alex Razzo.
Good morning.
Why don't you confess something that's really embarrassing now?
Oh, I don't think I could top that.
Oh, yes, you could, because I know you.
You know, a sleepover where we're all sitting around doing our nails, talking about embarrassing things.
All right, I call what we're doing now hemming and hawing, both. Yep. You're getting the double package. That's fine. Tyler Whitman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Wayne.
When did you first collect pornography?
Admittedly, I'm not a collector. Never been a collector.
I love have you stopped beating your wife? I know. I like his responses in the form of not, oh, I don't do that, but admittedly, here's a big confession, everybody. I'm going to really reveal something about me. Are you ready? I don't know if you can handle this or not, but I don't collect pornography.
Well, there's a thing called the internet, and it's got just terabytes and terabytes worth of product. What's the point of being a collector?
I mean, I don't collect it anymore. I mean, I collect, I don't have a footlocker anymore. Never mind pornography in a footlocker. When I was a kid, people used to collect it like you did. You were talking about, it'd be in a magazine, and then every now and then we'd go through the neighborhood, and you'd see a magazine upside down or whatever, thrown to the side. And would flip it over, and it was like whatever, a Playboy or a Penthouse. So to this day, when I see magazines strewn about, I'm thinking, oh, I know what that is. And it never is. It's like Sports Illustrated or, Prevention. Yeah. Only because you don't really have so much the porn mag anymore. I know, but it's just, it's something that's sealed in my mind. Like, do you have something to tell me? I haven't been in a, quote, adult store for a very long time. So, Tyler, do the adult stores still actually have racks of printed pornography for sale?
You know, the last time I was in there was this morning. I'm just trying to jog my brain real quick. I do remember seeing some, but they're relatively ancient.
All right, look, people out there, somebody knows. Somebody knows. You can tweet at me or figure out a way anonymously to let me know if that's even still a thing. Because we have newsstands, we still have newsstands, and they're full of magazines. But it's cooking magazines, and bodybuilding magazines, and celebrity gossip magazines, and gun magazines, and boat magazines. But back in the day, you'd go into one of these establishments, and it would be like a newsstand, except everything was, you know, the dirty material. And it has been a while, and I just don't know if that's even still a thing that exists at all. I know the major men's magazines still exist. Although, wait. Does Playboy even publish
No
a hard
idea.
print edition anymore?
I don't believe they do.
Ugh, what about Penthouse?
What's that?
What about Velvet or Club
I don't know. I don't know
or
about
High Society?
All I knew was Playboy and Penthouse.
You seem rather well versed.
I grew up at a certain period of time.
That stuff was everywhere. You'd go into a 7-Eleven,
Yep.
somebody would be standing there reading something, and the guy behind the thing would say, "No reading! If you want to read it, you got to buy it." And then they started covering them with plastic, black plastic, so you couldn't read them.
Yeah.
You know, or not read them, but look at them.
Oh, I read them for the article.
Well, so did I. I've learned a couple of great
I'll
jokes.
tell you what, I remember taking my dad's Playboy and reading that interview they did with Susan Sontag. That was fantastic.
Well, one last thing. We're digressing, but
How did we end up here?
my dad lived in Fullerton, Cyprus, after he got divorced from my mom, and I remember I went down to his house, and I was in the bathroom, and there was a stack of Playboys, like 2.5 feet tall, in the bathroom, and I thought, oh, this is normal. My mom quickly taught me that may be normal, but it's not normal in our house.
Oh.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
thought, yeah.
Well, in my case, my father, the rabbi, his subscription to Playboy was not an issue in the marriage. There it would be on his nightstand.
Wow.
My mom seemed to not mind at all. Hey, one time I was looking at it, and nobody was home, and I was looking at it, and then somebody came home, and I panicked, and instead of just putting it back on his nightstand, for some reason, I hit it with finger quotes, in the laundry hamper, and then I forgot. And a couple of days later, my mom goes, you know, if you want to look at Playboy, just, you don't have to, because she went to do laundry and found it. So actually, twice my mom has discovered.
You've been busted twice.
Yeah. Can we do the whole show over again
Yes,
and skip
please.
all of this?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Tyler, do we have to put the first segment up on the podcast? You do? Is it an FCC rule? Can you put up I'm totally serious. Can you do a thing? Can you edit this so that Handle on the News starts with the next segment for the podcast? And then, this is what I want you to do. Put up separately, if you can. I don't know how the templates work or whatever. Separately, put up the first segment and say something like, the first segment of Handle on the News had to be censored. And then just put up the longest beep tone that you can find or loop. You understand what I'm asking for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
This will be a fun culture jamming little trick on people who later go, hey, I want to listen to this morning's Handle show, and they'll see this weird censored segment, and it's just a long beat.
Oh, and this
But the
segment,
people who are here now live, they will know what happened.
yes, and this segment we should turn into an NFT and sell it, and we will be rich.
I love this idea. Does anybody have a good intellectual property lawyer who's up at 6:15 in the morning to work that out?
That would, you know what, that might be, we might not profit from that.
now that I think about it. Oh, I don't know. It seems like pretty much you just call anything an NFT and somebody's going to want it. That's right. All right, we've wasted time. I'm sorry, let me be fair. I've wasted time. Well, I've had a hand on it. Yeah. You're an aider and a better. And Tyler and Alex are like accessories after the fact. We're all in trouble. So here's what we're going to do. Number one, this segment will not be available on the podcast by decree of me. When we get a news update from Chris Little, we will then begin the show properly with Handle on the News. This is KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Ozzy Osbourne is getting into the NFT world. He's launching his own line titled Crypto Bats. The collection will feature 9,666 non-fungible tokens. The top U.S. infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says the nation should consider a vaccine mandate for domestic air travel. Police have released body cam footage of Thursday's shooting at a Burlington store in North Hollywood. That's where the 14-year-old girl was accidentally killed by a bullet that skipped off the floor. We'll take a look at your drive on the 60 next. Contractor license 1047-781.
This is Ken Goodrich of Gettle, and I want you to save money and save your heating and cooling system. The heat pump is basically just an air conditioner running backwards. Instead of pumping cold air into the home and hot air outdoors like it does in the summer, a heat pump reverses that process during the winter. But that means your air conditioner is running round the clock 365 days a year. And with heat pumps, big, expensive problems begin as small, affordable problems that were ignored for way too long. Routine maintenance will keep your heat pump happily doing its job long after everyone else's has laid down and died. Let Gettle rejuvenate your heat pump, and it will say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you 24 hours a day. Just $129. No one knows heat pumps like Gettle. G-O-E-T-T-L. It'll keep you cool, but it's hard to sell. Call right now, okay?
Get back to visiting new and exciting places across the U.S. on Amtrak. It isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. Without busy airports or cramped car rides. With no middle seats, extra legroom, and even private rooms. Book now at Amtrak.com. Adventurous journeys just an Amtrak away. Sunny this morning, then partly cloudy. Highs in the low to mid-50s. Slight chance of rain after midnight. This report brought to you by Amtrak. Let's go up to see Jeff Baugh. He's keeping an eye on the 60.
You betcha. We made a run out here to the 60 at Atlantic, a little bit east of the 710. Look for a problem. There is a little bit of a problem. It won't slow you down too much, but it's on the Atlantic on to the east 60, so just be careful. The westbound drive looking good if you're coming up through the 605 right now. You got a pretty good drive ahead. Now, earlier, our first report, I mentioned the problem of 101 around Mission. That's around the 10 or 101 merge going towards the 4 level. We didn't see anything, but now we just got word of something that's thickness. So we're headed that way right now, and I'll update that for you in a minute. As I speak to you, we are right over the North 5, flying north here over the Citadel, and the drive is pretty good. It's getting a little slow approaching East L interchange. Oh, real quick, westbound you want, just past 605, a little bit of a right shoulder problem. Be careful if you're in the right lane. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman and Superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, AFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Start fresh at Lowe's Store and Save event with Project Source Clear Storage Totes starting at $2.28 and closet-made bright wood closet kits starting at $119.98. Valid through 3/18. Selection varies by location while supplies last. U.S. only. Other design plus two storage bin pricing excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hi, I'm Dan McKenna, McKenna BMW in Norwalk and South Bay BMW in Florence. You haven't heard me on the radio for a while because we haven't had enough cars to sell, but that's all changing. With 2 BMW dealerships serving LA and Orange County, we have a great selection of new BMWs. In fact, if you don't see what you're looking for, it's either on its way or we can special order and deliver it to your door. The days of walking through 1,000 new BMWs are gone, but finding exactly what you want at McKenna BMW or South Bay BMW is here to stay. Visit McKennaCars.com or stop by the dealership nearest you. You're going to thank me.
Living with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 5 days? Those 18 and over who are not vaccinated may be able to take part in a clinical trial for a possible medication to prevent COVID-19. This trial is not for a vaccine, and participation is voluntary. Participants will receive study-related care at no cost, and may receive reimbursement for study-related time and travel. To learn more, visit COVIDMoveAhead.com. That's COVIDMoveAhead.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Get to the Ford year-end sell-a-thon today for holiday deals you won't want to miss on Ford's toughest truck and most popular and versatile SUVs. Don't wait to bring in the new year with the new Ford. This year-end sell-a-thon ends soon.
Well, isn't simple about money. It's more than just the numbers in your portfolio or your bank account. Well, it's all the everyday things that money enables you to do, the goals you have, things you want to accomplish, and the life you want to lead. So how do you get there? Starting the weekend of January 1st, listen to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chapman, presented by Edelman Financial Engine. Each week, award-winning journalist Soledad O'Brien and personal finance expert Gene Chapman will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. They'll be joined by Edelman Financial Engine's wealth planners and other guests to demystify challenges like tax-efficient investing, retirement planning, and more. They'll share knowledge and tools to manage your finances today and build wealth for tomorrow. Join the conversation. Everyday Wealth airs each weekend and will be available on major podcast platforms. For airtime, visit everydaywealth.com.
The new year means revolutions like diets and exercising. But what about exercising your legal rights? I'm attorney Darren Capinotti from 1-800-NO-CUT. And this is why I'm always telling you to just shut up. 1-800-NO-CUT. Because no one looks good in handcuffs. 1-800-NO-CUT. If you're tired of big cable bills, you can get Newsmax TV for free. Millions are watching Newsmax. Available now on major cable systems or for free on smart TVs like Samsung, LG, and Vizio. Find it streaming on Roku, Xumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, TiVo, Apple TV, and more. 7 million Americans have downloaded the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. It takes just seconds. Then watch us anytime, anywhere. Ford calls Newsmax a news powerhouse. Find out why. Start watching today.
Hey, Mario Lopez here. COVID cases and new variants are unfortunately on the rise again. If you're experiencing symptoms, think you've been exposed, or just aren't quite sure about that one gathering you recently, get a no-cost patient COVID test at covidclinic.org. And locations also have scope for the rapid result testing also available. So visit covidclinic.org and find a location near you. It is easy, fast, and super safe. covidclinic.org.
If holiday music turns your joy all the way up to 10, then Sirius XM is your home for the holidays. From traditional and country to pop, soul, and so much more, Sirius XM has exclusive holiday channels dedicated to the music that makes your season bright. Listen in the car on the way to the party, or in the living room as you're wrapping presents. Visit SiriusXM.com/listenholiday for how to start listening. 2021 comes to a close. Get ready to celebrate the year of music. We came here to have a good time. At the 2022 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Coming back to Fox March 22nd. Live from Los Angeles. Where your favorite artists will go home winners. Our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Here's my hope for 2022, Mike Bonham. The closest we can see right now to us actually having a recall vote. If he's recalled, if somebody like Rick Caruso becomes mayor, if the recall of LA County District Attorney George Gascon is affected, I think there's hope in 2022. John and Ken, weekdays at 2. That is an inspirational message on KFI. Handle on the news. Good morning, it's the Bill Handel Show. Bill's off this week, and we are doing Handle on the News for you. Chris Little in for Jennifer Jones-Lee, and me, and this is your lead story. The CDC has cut their recommended period for isolation if you are asymptomatic but test positive for coronavirus, down from 10 days to 5 days, and also shortening the time that close contacts of yours need to quarantine.
There's a lot to keep track of now. There is a lot. Luckily, Dr. Jim Keeney will be joining us at 7 o'clock this morning to walk us through this. And Governor Newsom said the state will align with the updated guidelines. We don't have to, but we're going to. He didn't say that. I'm just saying. Yeah, we don't have to, but he's going to. I guess Newsom's tired of being the leader maybe on this issue. Interesting, yeah. Okay. I mean, where has he been of late? That is an excellent question. I think he's been letting the government take care of things, the federal government. Yeah. The LAPD has released that video and that terrible, a fatal police shooting of a bystander at the store in Burlington Coat Factory. Burlington Coat Factory. Now they call it the Burlington Store in North Hollywood. Police got a call about a guy who was beating a woman with like one of those heavy-duty bike lock things. And when they got there, it was a mess. And the video is disturbing. The woman you can see on the floor trying to get away. She's bloody. There's blood on the floor, and police come in. And they shoot the guy. LAPD says one of the bullets skipped on the floor, went through the dressing room, and killed the 14-year-old girl while she was shopping for a quinceañera dress with her mom. The family has hired civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump. They are going to make an appearance in front of the store sometime today. And also at 9 o'clock, Steve Gregory, who is covering the story, is going to join us even though he's on vacation. Yeah. He will join us because he is neck deep in all the details, and particularly with this big information dump here from the police department. Because it's not just video, it's also 911 calls, radio transmissions, body cam footage, surveillance footage from the store. It's a whole package. It's important to note it is edited. Yeah, and it's not just like raw. So, and people are calling for transparency, and by transparency, I'm assuming they want that whole video. Well, at some point, maybe everything will come out, particularly as soon as Benjamin Trump files a lawsuit. Yeah, it'll all be discovered. Well, Wayne, something else about shootings. 5 people were killed, including the suspected shooter and others injured in Colorado and Denver and Lakewood. One officer was shot and also injured, and they actually had a shootout with this guy. But why do we don't know? No, we don't have motive yet, but they're connected. The police think the same guy going around Denver and shooting all these people. All right, let's go to news update, please, and then we will continue handle on the news. This is KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Wayne, of course, a big story hard to avoid right now. The LAPD has released a critical incident video showing the moments leading up to the death of a 14-year-old girl who was accidentally hit by an officer's bullet. The shooting happened last week inside a Burlington store in North Hollywood. Wait, you got to shoot. To the right. Where the fitting room? The video also shows a man attacking 3 women, severely beating one of them with a heavy-duty bike lock. The LAPD says when the officer shot and killed the guy, one of the bullets ricocheted off the floor, went through the wall of the dressing room where the girl was found in the dresses. The girl's parents, as Wayne said, are going to publicly call for investigators to provide full transparency. They're expected to make a statement today, and we will be there. News is brought to you by Cunning Dental Group. Police in Long Beach are asking anybody with information on a homeless woman who was shot and killed to come forward. Long Beach Police spokesman Brandon Fahey says police found the woman's body with a gunshot wound in a parked SUV on Sunday.
Homicide detectives were notified and responded to the scene. And at this time, the motive for the shooting is currently unknown, and detectives are actively working to gather additional information to further the ongoing investigation.
He says people with info on the killing can submit anonymous tips through LA Crime Stoppers. The LA Fire Department is planning to slash training from 22 to 14 weeks to get recruits into the field faster. partly because of the vaccine mandate.
68 firefighters are on unpaid leave for refusing the vaccine, regular testing, or to request an exemption. Hundreds more have requested an exemption.
For effectiveness and efficiencies, we're constantly looking at our training.
Deputy Chief Stephen Gutierrez says, for example, a week-long EMT refresher can be spread throughout the training.
I'm looking at that very closely. All new level firefighters come in as
Another week-long training to drive a fire engine can be taken away because new recruits can operate anyway.
things that we can take out, ensuring that they're safe and effective entry-level firefighters for the city of Los Angeles.
In LA, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
The news is brought to you by the Collins Rental Group. Two bystanders have rescued a guy from a burning motorhome in Chatsworth. Fire officials say the man inside has limited mobility and probably would not have made it out on his own. He was taken to a hospital yesterday where he was treated for a minor burn on his hand. The motorhome was completely destroyed. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Jeff Ball, what's up? On 101.
You bet. Well, thankfully, nothing. We came back to this. This is a typical area. It's where the North 101, going through the little gopher hole, as we call it, the little tunnel, merges with the West End, going up towards the Hooper heliport area there. But there's a partial right lane of the off-ramp around Bigness and Mission. It's not a big deal. If you're just driving to the 4 level, you're going to be okay. Back to the South 101 now. Coming out of the Conga Pass. That's where you are. Pretty good drive. South 5 down to East LA is pretty good. Looking at something right now on the westbound San Bernardino Freeway. Transition to the South 5. Another partial right lane. You can get through, but just be careful as you do that. And quite a problem in Antelope Valley now. We'll keep tabs on this for you, but the North 14 at Avenue J. The Avenue J on-ramp is shut down. Only the left lane of the freeway is open. So slow going through. If you're going up towards Palmdale now, it'll be a little bit of a delay for you. Entered in an accident. Visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Bach, hey, up high in the sky.
Can you believe the holidays are almost here? When you think about that, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For me, it's the smiling faces of friends and family as we celebrate together. I'm Larry Green of System Tailors, America's #1 designer and installer of elegant outdoor living systems. Today, I'd like to help bring a smile to you and your loved ones' faces, too. For a limited time, System Tailors is sharing our exclusive friends and family prices. So it's your chance to save big on an outdoor makeover that will make every get-together more memorable than ever. From a new patio or fire pit to upgrading your driveway or entry, take advantage of the low prices during our Hope for the Holidays Friends and Family Savings event. Get started right now by calling 800-PAGE-004. That's 800-PAGE-004. Hurry, this exclusive Friends and Family pricing won't last forever. 800-PAGE-004 or SystemTailors.com.
All orders must be placed by December 31st, and installation must commence within 60 days of sale. Financing subject to third-party approval. See website for full offer details. Contract with license 661-575.
Sunny this morning, then partly cloudy later. Highs in the low to mid-50s. Slight chance of rain after midnight with lows in the 30s and 40s. We'll lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Chris Smith.
General Air Conditioning is contractor license number 1047781. This is Ken Goodrich of General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. You've already heard the story of how my dad asked me to hold the flashlight for him at night while he worked on air conditioning. Dad knew he was dying, but I didn't. You know the story. Anyway, one of the things Dad would have me do is replace all the screws the previous repair guys left out when they reassembled the unit. My job was to find every missing screw and replace it with a brand new one. I still do that today, and so do all my guys. When motors are whirling and compressors are compressing and electrical contacts are doing their thing, those non-stop vibrations caused by missing screws will cause your system to die long before it's time. That's why we tied your unit down to factory-fresh conditions on every service call. My guys are perfectionists. No squeaks, rattles, or hums. And don't forget our awesome duct tester. Get it. GOE-TTL. It'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell. Call it.
As the experts in transmission for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard.
Want to hit the gas?
Skip the bell. And nothing we can't fix.
It's going.
What's that? From transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? I'll make you repair at AMCO. Exclusions apply, may not be combined with any other offer. Limited time offer, Texas fitting centers only. People who know go to AMCO. AA MCO.
The massive year-end clearance event is on now at Dennis Dillon RV. Sun Fresh at Low Store and Save Event with Project Stores Clear Storage Totes starting at $2.28 and Closet Made Right Wood Closet Kits starting at $119.98. Valid through 3/18. Selection varies by location while supplies last U.S. only. I designed for two storage bin pricing as food for Alaska and Hawaii. For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules. Radio station.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the Bill Handle Show. Bill is on vacation. We're here with Chris Hill in for Jennifer Jones Lee doing Handle on the news for you. Yeah. Here. So, and we'll be starting up people died in a plane crash story. Small airplane crash. In the neighborhood of Oklahoma, Sunday, although kind of no survivors have been found. Nobody injured on the ground. No, but a house was damaged. I guess they're still trying to figure out exactly what happened. It took down some power lines. People were also without power. So it's amazing, they say, that the pilot didn't hit more houses. You heard about the truck driver, and you've seen it all over TV, this picture of this horrific explosive crash. He was sentenced to 110 years in prison for that. This happened in Denver, but a judge has set a hearing to reconsider the 110-year sentence for that accident. I guess he wants to learn more about whether the law will allow him to reconsider the sentence. Yes, this hearing to reconsider this excessive sentence instigated by the prosecutors who caused the sentence in the first place by charging this guy with a couple dozen or more counts of vehicular manslaughter and requiring the sentence under Colorado sentencing guidelines. However, there is some provision in Colorado law. Boy, they really make things complicated in Colorado, where if a judge finds extraordinary and unusual circumstances in a case, they can impose a different sentence than is otherwise required by law. But this cannot happen until the person has been in prison for 119 days. What they're hoping to do here is have the judge go ahead now and impose a lower sentence which would not take effect until the guy's been in prison for 119 days. I don't know all the facts of the story, but I do know the brakes on his truck failed. Yep. And he's sentenced to 110 years in prison. Brakes failed. The prosecutors basically said, this is homicide, criminal homicide, because there were runaway truck ramps that you could have used, and you didn't. Mm-hmm. And he said, I was trying to avoid traffic, and, maybe I didn't do exactly the perfect procedure under those circumstances, but I was doing the best I could. And they had offered him a plea deal. He said no. They took him to trial. He was convicted on all those counts. That required 110 years. And everybody's saying, this is an accident. Right. And nobody's saying, by the way, I haven't heard a single person say nothing should happen to him. But people are saying, you're telling me 5 years in prison is not adequate in this kind of a situation where he was not negligent. Certainly he was not negligent in any way before the brakes failed on his truck. Right. That's a mechanical failure. He clearly had no ill intent, malice. He has a spotless record. Not only does he have no criminal record, he has a spotless driving record as a truck driver. So everybody seems to agree, yeah, there should be some prison time because people did die. And the prosecutors do have some legal argument here that what happened can be shoehorned into a criminal offense. But nobody thinks that he should get 120 years, not even the judge. He didn't
Sorry.
And then I think, honestly, this is where the prosecutors realized, too late, because they could have avoided all of this. They realized too late, just over the top, the whole prosecution was. And so they said, why don't we have a hearing, Judge, and see if you can, if you feel like there's some wiggle room somewhere for you to do something, which the court will certainly do. Particularly since the court doesn't have to worry about the prosecution appealing what he does, since they're asking him to do something. Excellent report, Wayne. Thank you. From one court case to another, Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes on trial, and day number 4 of jury deliberations inconclusive. But they sent out a couple of notes to the judge. They wanted to swiftly rejected request to take their home with them. And that didn't go very well.
Or that the smallest changes could make the biggest impact.
Not now, but she spent 7 days on the witness stand.
That's why Hills always starts with a pet's biology to
I wonder how long they're going to be out.
But not a very good cat.
Because, I mean,
So if you want me to let
asking
you
to take the jury instructions home doesn't tell you anything about how they're leaning. Like, you can't go, oh, they want to take the jury instructions home. They must be leaning towards acquittal. It doesn't mean anything. They just want to be nerds about it. I don't mean that disparagingly, but, you know, they obviously wanted, like, poor